This video is brought to you by Gateway Subaru. Higher standards. Outdoors Delmarva covers everything outdoors,
including real hunting and fishing situations involving wildlife.
We do our best each and every week to keep it tasteful, but discretion is advised.
Now, enjoy the show.
This is Outdoors Delmarva, presented by Gateway Subaru. Higher standards.
This week on the show, we're wrapping up the Maryland rifle season for deer, and as always, we'll head out into the field for some hunts with some old friends and make some new memories. Plus, you never know the surprises that you'll encounter out in the woods, and one local sportsman got some howling good video. And Captain Willie heads out for a Turkey Day tradition that's right on target. Right now on Outdoors Delmarva.
Holy cannoli.
This is Outdoors Delmarva, presented by Gateway Subaru. And now, here's Mike Parker.
Thanks for watching Outdoors Delmarva. I'm Mike Parker. We'll be checking in with my partner, Captain Willie Dykes, in just a few minutes. Well, as we begin the show this week, everybody, we find ourselves smack dab in the middle of the holiday season. Thanksgiving a couple of weeks behind us, Christmas a couple of weeks ahead of us. When it comes to the deer season, though, here on Delmarva, well, you could say that's the gift that keeps on giving. And we're hanging out here tonight at my buddy Pat Tobat's house in Wycomico County, just reflecting on the season so far. Got some fresh venison backstraps cooking on the grill. Smelling good. Well, specifically when it comes to winding down the Maryland rifle season here, it's time to spend time with some old friends and make some new memories. We've been getting some great pictures from our viewers enjoying the Maryland rifle season these past few weeks, and later in the show, we'll be taking a closer look. But when it came time to do some hunting ourselves, we hooked up with our friend Pat Tobat and headed out to a leased property near Tyaskin.
I tend not to kill does the first week just because I am looking for a decent buck, but after mid-season, it's time to put meat in the freezer.
The setup is simple and typical for properties like this where large volumes of deer need to be managed. And from this elevated box stand, we'll overlook thick woods on two sides and clear-cut shooting lanes down these trails. About 100 yards in each direction is a small amount of loose corn, a baiting practice that is legal on private lands in Maryland.
The reason to stop and slow down, and of course a lot of times when the does stop, and then if a buck crosses, that's when the buck stops and checks out what's going on.
As the sun begins to set, my attention is drawn to a lone deer that I spot off in the darkening woods. But just as I'm trying to find it on camera, Pat alerts me to a larger group of doe that's just stepped out onto the path.
I guess about 5 o'clock is when we saw the first doe, and waited a little bit just in case something else came out, and then once she got a little flighty, decided we want to go ahead and take her.
With daylight fading, Pat will now have just a few more minutes to isolate the biggest doe and readies for a shot. A rarity to be caught on camera, but as the first shot sends the other deer scattering, the first shot is a hit, but the shock doe doesn't immediately drop, and a quick second shot completes this successful harvest.
Not too bad. Killed a decent-sized white-tailed doe. I guess probably about 5 o'clock this evening. Ended up seeing 5 total, but she looked like definitely the biggest out of the 5, so went ahead and took her, and time to put some meat in the freezer.
With the doe now loaded in the truck, it's back to Pat's place, where this mature deer will hang overnight.
Did you get one? Yeah.
As another successful hunter stops by to share his own
Nothing like mine.
evening success story.
The biggest buck that I've seen so far with the rifle, but it seems like they're starting to move after the full moon's faded away. Overlooking the field, and doe come out and was watching her, and then this guy was following the doe, and seen some others following him, and about 200 yards, decided to take him.
At day's end, the chance to reflect on the hunt and to share stories with friends is the only true measure of success.
He's got her. That'll work. That's good. That's how you get good tenderloins right there.
And the perfect way to cap off another Maryland rifle season.
Time, friends, getting away, it's definitely Eastern Shore, Maryland. It's part of life.
Get outdoors, Delmarva.
Coming up next on Outdoors Delmarva, it's a Turkey Day tradition that draws quite a crowd. Captain Willie checks in on some sharpshooters right in his own hometown. But first, did you know? According to Maryland DNR's annual deer report, the 2011-2012 deer hunting season produced the 4th highest harvest on state record. Approximately how many deer of combined species was harvested last year? Was it 78,000, 88,000, or 98,000? The answer when we come back.
You're watching Outdoors Delmarva, presented by Gateway Subaru. Higher standards. Sponsored by Ocean City Tourism, Shorts Marine, Shooter's Choice, Sean Mann Outdoors, and Wink Sporting Goods. Outdoors Delmarva will be right back.
Did you know? During the 2011-2012 Maryland deer hunting season, just over 98,000 deer of combined species were harvested. Of that, more than 34,000 were antlered or bucks, and more than 63,000 were antlerless deer or button bucks.
Did You Know is sponsored by North Bay Marina.
Thanks for watching Outdoors Delmarva. I'm Captain Willie Dykes. Well, Thanksgiving is past, and while we're trying to get rid of some calories, we're trying to hang on to some memories. And one of the best is the Stockton Volunteer Fire Company's annual turkey shoot here in Worcester County.
Lane B, shooter 103.
Now, for those of you who might not know, a turkey shoot doesn't involve real live turkeys. It's a chance for the community to get together for a day of target practice and acquire bragging rights, or in some cases, prizes and maybe a little cash. Well, you got 2 of them pretty close in there. Looks like that one right there is the winner. Participants have the option of entering rounds, and whoever gets a shotgun pellet closest to the center of the target wins that round. But the purpose of the event has always been to raise money for Stockton's fire department. And we're here today with the chief, Neil Payne. How you doing, Neil?
All right, how are you doing?
It's a beautiful day for it.
Yes, it is. Everything's going good, smooth.
Now, how long have you been running the turkey shoot down here?
The best we can tell from the minutes is since about 1948.
I understand they started out actually giving out live turkeys.
Yeah, when you shot, you won a live turkey and they put it in a sack and sent it home with you.
One thing you expect to see at a turkey shoot is the occasional long-barreled gun. Mr. Roy Miller here has what looks like the longest one here at the shoot. Mr. Miller, how's it working for you so far?
Well, it's doing good, but I'm not winning.
Oh, you haven't won anything yet?
No, not yet. No.
How many shooters do you expect for the average shoot?
Anywhere between 100 and 150, just depending on who's down for the holiday.
Yeah. Okay, Brittany, let's take a look at that winning target. Okay, that. You can't get much better than that. Pretty good shot. $50 is a pretty good little shot for a day's work on Thanksgiving morning. Okay. Also, you can get a little snack.
Yeah, our Ladies Auxiliary sells breakfast every Thanksgiving morning.
Yeah. How many scrambled and egg sandwiches and sausages and whatnot do you figure you go through in a morning's time?
Oh, I don't have. We got a list.
When I asked how many sandwiches they'd sold this morning, Carol told me they were keeping track. And take a look at the books.
Trying to. We've sold about 70 scrapple or scrapple and egg sandwiches so far.
Well, Neil, why Thanksgiving Day?
Well, from talking to some of the older folks, they seem to think that it came from the ladies trying to get the men out of the house so they can cook dinner without being bothered.
That sounds like a good reason, isn't it?
Get outdoors, Delmarva!
Coming up next on Outdoors Delmarva, if you spend enough time out in the woods, you're bound to run into a surprise or two. We'll hear from a deer hunter who caught this coyote on camera.
Outdoors Delmarva will be right back. This is Outdoors Delmarva, presented by Gateway Subaru. Higher standards.
Thanks for watching Outdoors Delmarva. I'm Mike Parker. Well, you know, everyone, every once in a while we get a viewer picture or video that just deserves a little bit more time here on the show because it's either really great quality or something that we've never seen before. That was definitely the case a couple of weeks ago when I got an email from our friend James Blackstock from Smyrna, who was out on a deer hunting adventure but saw something a little bit different. How you doing, James?
Very good.
Great. Thanks for meeting up with us.
No
well,
problem.
let's start it off here. Where were you, and what did you see when you decided to hit the record button on that video camera?
Well, I was up in White Clay Creek doing some deer hunting, and I thought I was going to be seeing some deer, and instead I turned around and a little coyote came in. Pretty close.
Yeah, I'll say, when you sent me this video, actually, I think you got in touch with us over the Outdoors Delmarva Facebook page. I asked you to put this on YouTube so that I could get a good look at it and download the video, and that's what we're looking at right now here. So here you are, you're up in your tree stand, and you kind of look off to the left, and there's a field, I think, there neighboring the woods.
Right.
So you saw a little bit of movement, I'm assuming.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And I just kind of turned and grabbed the camera right away. I thought it was going to be a deer coming in, and it ended up being this nice little coyote pup, and it came right in off the field, actually walked in on the trail that I had walked into the stand, and came right in underneath my stand, and kind of looked around the area, and you know, I was able to get a pretty good look at him and good little view. So
yeah, well, I'll say it's really great because now we've seen coyotes. In fact, on our show a couple of weeks ago, I spent some time with a trapper down in Worcester County, just a few miles outside of Ocean City, in fact, where the property owner was concerned because they have small pets and they'd seen a few coyotes at night. They turned on their light one night and out in the yard there were some coyotes. So our buddy Gene Garrett down in Worcester County actually did some trapping successfully on that farm. So we've seen the coyote here on the eastern shore of Maryland as well as up here up in Delaware, not only Sussex, Kent, but also Newcastle County where you were hunting. What do you think? What did you think when you saw this creature alive?
I wasn't sure what to think at first because you know, you don't really get to see him very often. So you know, he came right in, and you know, I couldn't help but kind of notice it was a lot, you know, looked, you know, bigger than a fox but smaller than a dog. Just a pretty cool creature.
Yeah. Now they are legal to be hunted, but you decided you were out there for deer that day.
Yep, I was looking for deer that day. So
well, I'll tell you what, for someone who does this for a living, sometimes it's better to get that wildlife on camera and let it walk, as they say. Well, either way, ladies and gentlemen, as you've seen, the coyote is here to stay and some amazing video to share. And we'll be right back. Coming up next on Outdoors Delmarva, if you're like me, you've got a long holiday drive ahead, and you're going to want to know about the coolest new safety feature being offered on select Subaru models like this 2013 Legacy. It's the EyeSight system. We'll put it to the test, and trust me, it'll stop you in your tracks.
Outdoors Delmarva will be right back.
EyeSight really works.
This is Outdoors Delmarva, presented by Gateway Subaru. Higher standards.
Thanks for watching Outdoors Delmarva. I'm Mike Parker, and we're back here again this week at Gateway Subaru, located on Route 13 in Delmar, Maryland. Higher standards when it comes to buying that new car. And can you believe it? It is December already, and a perfect time to start talking about some of the brand new features being offered on select Subaru models here in 2013. And joining us right now to talk about it is Steve Wergen with Gateway Subaru. Steve, how are you?
Mike, happy holidays, and thank you for coming to Gateway Subaru today.
Happy holidays as well to you, Steve. And when I'm talking about these new features for 2013, what I'm really talking about is this new EyeSight system. Tell me about it.
EyeSight is a fabulous safety innovation through Subaru. What it does is it does an adaptive cruise control, lane departure, and it also will do braking emergency situations. So it's protection for you and your family all the time.
Well, it is one thing to talk about it, Steve, but I need to see this. I need to feel it for myself.
Mike, I've got an idea.
Steve, what are you getting us into?
Mike, since it's holiday season, let's use these presents to put the EyeSight to the test.
I got it. Let's build a wall out of these presents just like it was another vehicle in front of us or another object, and let's see if this thing will stop by itself.
Let's do it. It's a sad looking wall, but I love it.
Steve, I got to tell you, I'm a little bit nervous because driving like this and not hitting the brakes with something in front of me kind of goes against everything I've ever been taught.
I know, Mike, but let's give it a shot.
All right, gonna trust the EyeSight. Here we go.
Right forward, no brakes.
That's awesome. Wow, absolutely no pressure on the brake pedal myself. It stopped just before we hit those presents.
Mike, EyeSight.
Unbelievable. Well, Steve, I'm really impressed, but I know you're still skeptical out there. I don't know any other way to show you that I'm not braking when we get up to those boxes. I'm just gonna lift my leg up so you'll see no foot on the brake. Here we go. EyeSight really works. Well, Steve, I gotta say, with new safety features like the EyeSight system on this 2013 Legacy, Subaru is always thinking outside of the box.
Mike, don't forget, right now is our Share the Love event. What happens is when you buy a new Subaru, now between January 2nd, Subaru will donate $250 to one of our 5 charities featured.
Well said, Steve, and happy holidays. Well, if you're looking for a new car that has safety features like the new EyeSight system, fuel efficiency, and of course, that all-important symmetrical all-wheel drive, look no further than our friends here at Gateway Subaru on Route 13 in Delmarva, Maryland. Higher standards. And we'll be right back.
Coming up next on Outdoors Delmarva, your latest viewer videos and pictures.
Outdoors Delmarva viewer pictures are sponsored by Shorts Marine. This is Outdoors Delmarva, presented by Gateway Subaru. Higher standards. Sponsored by Ocean City Tourism, Shorts Marine, Shooter's Choice, Sean Mann Outdoors, and Wink Sporting Goods.
Well, it's time now to take a look at some of the videos and pictures sent in by our own Outdoors Delmarva viewers.
Waterfowlers enjoyed the first half of the late goose season, including the Wynn and Snyder families, who have a traditional goose hunt on Thanksgiving morning. Nice work. Melanie Griffin from Princess Anne was double trouble on the opening weekend of rifle season. She credits her guide and husband, David, for helping her track down her first ever doe and buck, this 10-pointer. Oh, we like to say the family that hunts together stays together, and it looks like the King family out of Willards is cementing some memories this deer season. 13-year-old Alex King harvested this 3-pointer, his first ever buck. Dad Dave King brought home this big 10-pointer during the first week of rifle season, and grandfather David King will remember this 6-pointer with a 20-inch spread for many seasons to come. Tyler Doak from Parsonsburg filled both his buck tags with this 14-pointer and 7-pointer harvested opening weekend on a property near Quantico, Maryland. Mark Spicer harvested an 8-pointer hunting around Georgetown during Delaware's early black powder season. Matt Watson from Easton has been keeping us up to date on what's happening around this trail cam. Looks like it's become quite a multi-species hangout for both turkeys and deer. By the looks of it, well, the big boys only come out at night. Mary Lieber from Georgetown didn't have to look far, just right across the street to snap this shot. This mature bald eagle didn't seem to mind posing a bit either. And the holiday season is also a great striper season. Brad Powlett from Salisbury passed along this picture of a 37-inch rockfish that he hooked up recently near Buoy 70 on the Chesapeake. And pictured here from left to right are Jim LeCates, Walter Griffiths, Glenn Huffer, Jim Willie Jr., and Kevin Weber. The fellas were trolling aboard the Karen Ray 2 with Captain Curtis John and mate Kurt Jr. out of Crisfield. And Debbie Vesculia from Long Neck says she didn't even know that these different animals even tolerated each other out there, but looks like these doe and this red fox were fine with at least one group shot taken on Debbie's backyard trail cam. Well, we love sharing your outdoors videos and pictures here on the show. You can send them by email to mparker@wboc.com, or you can post them on the Outdoors Delmarva Facebook page. As always, don't forget to tell us your name and where you're from. So until next time, for Captain Willie Dykes, I'm Mike Parker reminding you to get outdoors, Delmarva.